Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom. Brother Bird, Shamar Yahu Ben Yasharal. Welcome to the channel. About to listen to brother, the big brother, Ariyah, the Moreh, Ariyah. Gonna go ahead and listen to Ariyah, guys. So we're gonna set up. I'm setting up right now. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom.
And to do all of these miracles, which Peter rightfully says Elohim was doing. Yeshua wasn't doing nothing but what Elohim was doing through him. You can't take credit away from the Creator. You can't worship, what's the word I'm looking for? The created. You have to worship the Creator. We have been taught for thousands of years to worship the created. The created. That is idolatry, that is blasphemy, that is condemnation. You can bet on that. You got thousands of years of precedent for that. Okay. My sister, go ahead and turn your attention over to 1 Corinthians 15. 1 Corinthians 15. 1 Corinthians 15. 1 Corinthians 15. And pick it up at verse 21. 1 Corinthians 15. 21.
For as by a man came death.
Oh, what?
For as by a man came death.
Okay, all right. What man is that? Adam, would you agree, JT? Okay, Adam was a man. Okay, go ahead.
By a man has come also resurrection of the dead.
By another man. Not a God man, but a regular man. Go ahead and turn your attention over to verse 47.
The first man was from the earth.
The first man was from the earth. Go ahead.
A man of dust.
Mm-hmm.
The second man is from heaven.
That's right. The master that was conceived heavenly. He was raised by the Spirit. He was raised, brought up in the resurrection by the Spirit. Go ahead.
Verse 48. As was the man of dust,
so
also are those who are of the dust.
Come on.
And as is the man of heaven,
yes,
so also are those who are of heaven.
Romans chapter 1, 1 through 4. Romans chapter 1, 1 through 4. Romans chapter 1, 1 through 4.
In the first
You see
book,
what we're doing, JT? Just read. Just read. Just read. Go ahead.
Romans 1, verse 1, ESV.
Yeah.
Paul, a servant of the anointed Yahshua.
I mean, what neo-Christians want me to believe, JT, is that Adam done corrupted his seed. He done corrupted all of his children. The jacked all of us up. Elohim is looking down and said, look at him, man. You know, I created him perfectly, without sin, an infallible, sentient being made from dust. Now look at him, made a bad decision. Now he has brought death upon all of his children. And then he looks at his son, Jesus, in heaven and says, you know you're going to have to come down from heaven, and you're going to have to go down there, and you're going to have to take on some flesh. And, you know, you're going to have to be killed by whom you and I created, right? Let us make man in our image, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, they're going to have to kill you. I would imagine Jesus say, hey, can you send somebody else? That didn't happen.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring light to brother the Moreh, Ariyah. He's in North Carolina. He was one of the first guys, maybe the first guy that I first learned about being Hebrew back in 2010. So just want to bring some light to his channel.
1 through 4. Now, I want you to see the witnesses, Sister Sabina, because I just simply want to show you how we study in our community, right? So I want you to get used to it. I gave you the Davidic covenant. This comes from God himself. It says 2 Samuel 7:12. Then God is reiterating the Davidic covenant, right? Reminding the children of Israel that I'm going to deliver on my promise in Jeremiah 23 and Jeremiah 33, right? Isaiah 9:6, he is reminding, hey, you know, remember what I said to David? That's going to happen. That's Isaiah 9:6, right? And then he continues to expound upon it. Isaiah chapter 11, verses 1 through 4, right? And then we go into the Gospel of Luke, an angel named Gabriel comes back and reiterates the Davidic covenant. So we see application and designation. We see that. It's without controversy, unless you're holding on to the adversary's doctrine. I can't help you with that. That's on you. All right. Then we go over here to John chapter 3, verse 2, right? Nicodemus didn't call him a god. Nicodemus says, right, you are a man, you are a teacher, and check it. No human being can do the stuff that you're doing unless Elohim has endorsed this behavior. In other words, Elohim is doing it. Okay, all right. So then we go over to Acts, Peter. Peter says that Yeshua was a man. And then he says, as all of you know, Hebrew Israelites in the first century weren't running around town saying this is a God man or this is a God. No. That comes much later. That comes from the Gentiles. That comes from neo-Christians who put that on the tongues of the naive and imperceptive unto the point of condemnation, because that's where we're going to go if we continue to embrace that doctrine and propagate it to other people, because it is a patent lie. And all we're doing is reading it. Then we go over to 1 Corinthians. Paul says, no. Man got you in trouble. Man gonna get you out of trouble. Why would man get you in trouble and a celestial being get you out of trouble? That ain't his turf. It's gonna take man to redeem man. But a righteous man. You follow me, Sister Sabina? Making sense? Then we go back over here to Romans. And Romans 1 through 4, please.
Paul, a servant of the anointed Yahshua, called to be an apostle, set apart for the gospel of Elohim,
Yes.
which he promised beforehand
Yes.
through his prophets
Yes.
in the Holy Scriptures concerning his son, who was descended from David.
From David. This is his birth origin. This is his conception. This is his human origin. Listen to your ancestors. It ain't nothing to wrestle with. It becomes very simple when you make a decision to read. I promise you, when you make that decision at some point in time in your life to just simply read and internalize it, it's going to start opening up. You're like, you got to be kidding me. It was this simple all the time? I promise you that's going to be the case. I'm sure.
Concerning his son, who was descended from David according to the flesh.
According to the flesh. We see flesh. Go ahead.
And was declared.
Declared. Declared what?
To be the son of Elohim.
Oh, he shall be my son. He shall be my son. He will be my son. When?
In power, according to the Spirit of holiness, by his resurrection from the dead.
By the resurrection from the dead. By the resurrection from the dead. Are you with me there, Sabine? Right? Okay. Now go over to Revelation 1:5. Read Revelation 1:5. Read Revelation 1:5. Here are your witnesses. Elohim is your witness in 2 Samuel 7:12. Elohim is your witness. We can say Jeremiah, right? Elohim is your witness. We can say Isaiah 9. Elohim is your witness in Isaiah. Now Gabriel is your witness in Luke. Now we have Nicodemus is a witness, John. We got Peter's a witness in Acts. We got Paul a witness in 1 Corinthians. We got Paul a witness in Romans, right? So I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got about 7 witnesses. Everybody's saying the same thing. All I needed was 2, right? Go over to Revelation. Read 1:5.
And from Yeshua the Anointed, the faithful witness, the firstborn of the dead.
The first, when was he born?
Of the dead.
In the resurrection. That birth narrative from the resurrection is when we have the birth, right, of the church in power with authority. Remember what Yeshua said when he rose from the dead. Go over to Matthew. Now, because I want you to have the passages. I want you to have the passages. Go over to Matthew and pick it up. Matthew chapter 28 and read verse 18.
And Yeshua came and said to them.
What did he say after his resurrection, after he rose from the grave? What would he say, correct?
All authority in heaven.
Shalom Aleichem, brothers. I'm back. And hey, I want you to know. In heaven and in earth, it's time to rock it, y'all. This is what the Messiah said after he was raised from the dead. The first man raised from the dead, given this authority and power. You with me? Now go over to, did you read Revelation 1:5? Yes, you did. Go over to Revelation 22. Now let's hear from Yeshua himself. Revelation 22. Revelation 22. Pick it up verse 16. This is the end of the book. Last book of the Bible. Last book of the Bible. Revelation 22, verse 16.
I, Yeshua, have sent my angel to testify to you about these things for the assemblies.
Yes.
I am the root.
Okay, now he's going to tell you who he is. He's going to tell you who he is. What's he telling us, correct?
I am the root.
I am the root. Go ahead.
And the descendant of David.
And the offspring of David, right? Now, here's your challenge. Neo-Christians are going to say, okay, but root. So in order to have a root, right, a root comes before the tree. So the root is, right, so, he's actually preceding David. No. Again, you don't understand Hebraic idioms. You have to understand, and I talk about it all the time because I have made errors by simply not understanding Hebraic idioms. So it culminates into a decision. You're either going to do the Bible or you're not. And there ain't no half-stepping with it. And there are no shortcuts going on YouTube and looking at all of this trash that's on YouTube. This is where people spend their time all day. I guess it's addictive. I don't know what it is, right? YouTube crack or something. So, my sister, let's deal with the root. Go ahead and pick it up at Romans 15:12. Romans 15:12. We want to understand what root is culturally. Go ahead.
Verse 12 in the ESV. And again, Isaiah says, the root of Jesse will come.
The root of Jesse. The root of Jesse. Doesn't sound like something preceding Jesse, but something that's going to come from Jesse, the root of Jesse, and we're going to confirm it as part of the Hebrews vernacular. We'll confirm that. Go ahead.
The root of Jesse will come. Mm-hmm. Even he who arises to rule the Gentiles, in him will the Gentiles hope.
Revelation 5:5. Revelation 5:5. Revelation 5:5. Mm-hmm. And I want you all to understand something. Every neo-Christian that walks through this door, they're going to walk through here thinking one thing off the bat. Jesus is God. Jesus pre-existed. That's just a fact. Everyone who is introduced to messianic fanaticism, they walking through this door. Right now, they probably putting some stuff in a little chat or whatever the case may be. New people, because they have been programmed to believe that. Listen to me. Go ahead, read.
Revelation 5:5.
Uh-huh.
And one of the elders said to me,
Come on.
Weep no more. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David.
The root of David. Didn't we see a root of Jesse before? Okay, now we see the root of David. Didn't Isaiah chapter 11 says, right, Jesse is going to have an offspring, and we know that offspring is David, and David is going to have an offspring, right? That is prophecy. So listen to me. Why would you corrupt what Elohim is specifically saying to you? He's telling you how he is going to orchestrate redemption and salvation. Here you come along as a temporal, fallible being saying, well, that ain't what God meant. God meant that he going to bring God, Son of God, to earth to die for you. And that's really what he meant. Listen to me. That ain't going to work. I'm telling you. That is the devil's doctrine. And that is going to be the catalyst for your, how would you say, consumption by fire. Because it's a test. Are you going to believe me, Elohim, what I have said to you? And I have given you tons of witnesses. All of them are saying the same thing. You allow one patristic, two patristics, to emerge in the 2nd century AD to introduce a system that is diametrically opposed to my word, and you believe it over me? I don't want you in my kingdom. You're going to have to start thinking like that, JT. You got to start thinking like that. Don't you?
You want me to read 5 again?
Now, go to the Apocrypha. I'm going to show you how to use the Apocrypha. Am I using it because it's inspired, or am I using it for cultural association? Oh, cultural association. We have plenty of examples. As a matter of fact, Emac, we gave an example last week, when the Sadducees seemingly was pulling from the book of Tobit. Now, why do we highlight that? Because Sadducees don't believe in the resurrection, they don't believe in spirits, and they don't believe in no book besides the first 5 books of the Bible, the Torah. So why would they be pulling from the book of Tobit, a book that they don't believe in? Unless they are looking to expound upon moral imperatives. The same reason every other apostle used it, brothers and sisters. Watch how we use it. Don't you?
The book of Sirach.
40 and 15.
The children of the ungodly shall not bring forth many branches, but are as unclean roots upon a hard rock.
Read again.
The children of the ungodly.
The children of the ungodly. The children of the ungodly. We got ungodly and we got their children. Talk to me.
Shall not bring forth many branches.
Shall not bring forth many branches, many offsprings, the children of the ungodly. Who are the children? Come see.
But are as unclean roots.
They are unclean roots. And it's the very same Hebrew, it's the very same Greek word, reza. Their children are roots. Turn your attention over to 47 and 22. Go to 47, 22. 47, 20. So what am I doing? I'm showing you how you use apocryphal sources. Apocryphal, pseudepigraphal, and Jewish literature do not precede canonized literature. You start with the canon, and you may, if you like, to strengthen your argument, venture into extra biblical sources to undergird, right, what you're arguing from the canon. That's called scholarship, and that's called great scholarship. If you want to be a scholar, that's how you put it in work. You understand that, Sabina? Come shoot.
Sirach 47:22.
Yes.
But Yah will never leave off his mercy, neither shall any of his works perish, neither will he abolish the posterity of his elect, and the seed of him that loveth him will not take away. Wherefore he gave a remnant unto Yaakov, and out of him a root unto David.
And out of him a what?
And out of him a root.
A root. What did Yeshua say? I am the root and the offspring of David. He is giving you his origin. I'm a man. I'm one of the homies. The difference is that I'm constitutionally sound. You can go over to the book of Hebrews and you can see where Yeshua, a man, tempted in all facets like we, yet did not yield to temptation. You can't tempt God, is what James says, but you can tempt a man. You got to make a decision. Got to make a decision. I had to make the decision. You don't think it was a struggle for me too? But then you get angry because you ask yourself, how in the world did somebody pull off a con on this level? You talking about a Ponzi scheme. There ain't no bigger Ponzi scheme than Neo-Christendom. And you're like, how is that possible? Because it's the devil's organization. That's how. and all her little babies, black Hebrew Israelites, Hebrew roots, Messianic Jews, all of them, are all her little babies. One more apocryphal book. You see how we use the Apocrypha? EMAC, right? I'm not going there for inspiration. I'm going there for cultural linguistics. I'm looking for correlation. I'm looking for a complement, a linguistic complement to what I read from the canon. You start with that.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 10.
Yes.
And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes.
Uh-oh, go pick it up at 9. Matter of fact, start at 8. First Maccabees. First Maccabees. First Maccabees.
Verse
Hey,
8.
what part of your Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, talks about Hanukkah? Anybody tell me? It's not in the canonized text. The only place you're going to find Hanukkah is in the book of Maccabees. So it's a historical narrative. It's okay for history. But the moment that you begin to tell people that it was divinely inspired, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble, because that's not what Elohim said. Talk to me, my sister.
Verse 8. And his servants bare rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years.
Now we are talking about Alexander the Great's generals. You had Cassandra that ruled in Macedonia. You had Lysimachus that ruled in Asia Minor, I believe. You had the Ptolemies that ruled in Egypt. All of these are Gentiles, all of them. They're Greeks. And you had the Seleucids that ruled in Syria. Alexander died and divided his great empire amongst his 4 generals. His 4 generals became kings. Here we're going to be talking about one of these kings' descendants. And let's see what our ancestor referred to him as.
Can I pick it up at verse 7?
You can do whatever you want to do. You the reader.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
Mm-hmm.
And his servants bare rule, every one in his place.
Yeah.
And after his death, they all put on crowns upon themselves. Yeah. So did their sons after them many years.
So did their sons. So did their children. Passing it down, right? Go ahead.
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
Woo. Yeah, I mean, they just manufacturing all type of evil. Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 10, and there came out of them a wicked root.
Oh, stop. And there came what?
And there
came what? Out of them a wicked what? Root. Same Greek word, Rizza, that Yeshua is using about himself and what? His descent from David. I'm the root. Are y'all with me? Yes. Okay. Are we satisfied? Any questions? Any concerns? I'm nervous, but any, Second question. If Gentiles do not need to be circumcised, why do they need to follow the rest of the law? Circumcision was not from the Mosaic law, but from the Abrahamic covenant that God commanded everyone in a household to follow. It's an excellent question. Again, it's far different from what I typically get. I look at this stuff and I say, woo, praise the Lord. Okay, something meaty, something good. Question again. If Gentiles do not need to be circumcised, we do not teach that Gentiles have to be circumcised. Why do they need to follow the rest of the law? We teach that everybody. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost took out your eye over here. Okay. I'll be one eye correct. Okay. All right. Okay. So circumcision was not from the Mosaic law, but from the Abrahamic covenant that God commanded everyone in Abraham's household. Again, so why do they need to keep God's law and not circumcision? This is the reason why. And it's very simple. It's terribly simple. And once again, Sabina, all we're going to do is read. Genesis 17, 9 through 14. Genesis 17. Genesis 17. Genesis 17. Now, she did bring up the Abrahamic covenant. And so this is what you got to do. Read it and stick with it. Read it and stick with it. Genesis 17, correct, 9 through 14.
ESV. And Elohim said to Abraham, as for you, you shall keep my covenant, you and your offspring after you throughout their generations.
Yes.
This is my covenant which you shall keep between me and you and your offspring after you.
Okay, now we paying attention to the words. Your offsprings. Go ahead.
Every male among you shall be circumcised. You shall be circumcised in the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and you. Verse 12. He who is 8 days old among you shall be circumcised. Every male throughout your generations, whether born in your house or bought with your money from any foreigner who is not of your offspring.
Read that one more time, please.
He who is 8 days old among you shall be circumcised. Every male throughout your generations, whether born in your house.
Okay. Born in your house. He's become a part of your family. If he's born in your house, you got to be circumcised. That is the Abrahamic covenant. This is also enacted in law. In law. What else you got?
Or bought with your money.
Okay, if you bought them with your money, in other words, we're talking about properties. Your property has to be circumcised. Slave got to be circumcised here, born in your house, right? Baby slaves, right? They're going to have to be circumcised. Go ahead.
From any foreigner who is not of your offspring.
Yes.
Both he who is born in your house and he who is bought with your money shall surely be circumcised.
Yes.
So shall my covenant be in your flesh, an everlasting covenant.
Yes.
Any uncircumcised male who is not circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin shall be cut off from his people.
Ooh, that ain't good. That ain't good. Snippity snip. Go ahead.
He has broken my covenant.
He has broken my covenant. Go ahead.
That was 14.
That's 14. Beautiful. Go over to Exodus chapter 12. Are we fine with the Abrahamic covenant? We just read it. We see what the stipulation is, right? If you are the descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, if you claim descendancy from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, then by covenant and by law, you must be circumcised. If you are saying, I ain't descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I am a ger, tashov, I'm a descendant of Noah, I'm a descendant of, Gentiles or African or whatever the case may be. So, all right, great. Then circumcision is not applicable to you. Unless Exodus chapter 12. Exodus chapter 12. 48 through 49.
Verse 48. If a stranger shall sojourn with you and would keep the Passover to Yah.
Keep the Passover. Keep the Passover. Keep the Passover. Go ahead.
Let all his males be circumcised.
Okay, here you got someone in the days of antiquity who is a Gentile seeing a festivity taking place. We call it Passover, and they want to partake in it. Here's the law. Let all of his males be circumcised. Let all his males be circumcised. Did we just read that? Do I need to add anything to that? Are we good with that? Okay, all right. 49.
There shall be one law for the native and for the stranger who sojourns among you.
Leviticus chapter 12, verse 3. Leviticus 12, 3. Leviticus 12 and 3.
And on the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised.
Read again.
And on the
Pick
8th,
it up at 1 through 3.
verse 1. Yah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the people of Israel, saying, If a woman conceives and bears a male child, then she shall be unclean 7 days. As at the time of her menstruation, she shall be unclean. And on the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised.
Okay, all right. Go over to the book of John. See, 12, 13, okay, 14, 15, John chapter 7. John chapter 7. Pick it to verse 22.
Moses gave you circumcision,
Why Moses give me circumcision?
not that it is from Moses,
Not that's from Moses. What's up?
but from the fathers.
From the fathers. Came from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So that statute is applicable to them with regards to born in your house, bought with your money. But if you are a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you getting circumcised on the 8th day. Let me remind you of what was going to happen to Moses. Remember what the Abrahamic covenant said? The Abrahamic covenant says, right, whoever is not circumcised will be cut off. Do you remember when Moses was in the inn, right, walking, and an angel met him with a sword, right, and said, I'm about to take you out. Why, Lord? What have I done? Your son Gershom is not circumcised. The angel creeping to kill Moshe. Zipporah says, oh, Lord, have mercy. Takes a rock and takes the boy's foreskin, right? Cuts it and takes the foreskin and throw it at Moses' feet and says, bloody husband, you ought to me. I'd rather be a bloody husband than a dead husband. See, Elohim is a covenant deity. He ain't playing. Now, if he's willing to take Moses out, what do you think he's going to do with anybody who makes a claim that they are of the house of Israel and are not circumcised? Turn your attention over to the book of Titus. No, we don't need to go over to Titus. Go over to Galatians. No, go over to Acts. Let's start at Acts. Go over to Acts. Go to Acts chapter 15. Pick it up verse 1. Acts 15, verse 1. Acts 15, verse 1.
But some men came down from Judea and were teaching the brothers, unless you are circumcised according to the custom of
Go
Moshe,
ahead.
you cannot be saved.
You ain't saying that to Israelites. You saying that to Gentiles. Unless you are circumcised according to the law, you Gentiles are not going to be saved. Where is that written anywhere in the law? It's not. But Peter is going to tell you the origin. Look at Acts chapter 15 and pick it up at verse 7 through 10.
Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And after there had been much debate,
Yes.
Peter stood up and said to them,
Okay, much debate. So they're arguing about this, Martin, right? I mean, and we got some big dogs in the house. We talking about Pharisees. They got special training, but they are all halakhic. They're all halakhic. And now we got the apostles, and we have minor apostles in which Paul and Barnabas are minor apostles. You got chief apostles. These are going to be James, Peter, etc., etc., etc. They locked in a fight over how we going to bring in these Europeans into the culture. How? Because the old way, you brought them into the community via Brit Milah, through circumcision. Through circumcision. That's how they came through. Now you're trying to introduce something different by saying they can come amongst us, right, without being circumcised, right? Pharisee says, me no like. No like at all. There's a problem. So let's see what happens. Don't she?
Peter stood up and said to them, brothers, you know that in the early days Elohim made a choice among you, that by my mouth the Gentiles should hear the word of the gospel and believe. And Elohim, who knows the heart, bore witness to them by giving them the Holy Spirit just as he did to us. And he made no distinction between us and them, having cleansed their hearts by faith. Now, therefore, why are you putting Elohim to the test by placing a yoke on the neck of the disciples that neither our fathers nor we have been able to bear?
Yoke is a metaphor for teaching. So why are you going to put this teaching on them that we ourselves can't even carry? And they got nothing to do with the Mosaic law. They dare not say that about Moses' law. But they have been saying that for hundreds of years about Halakhaism. Yeshua asked a question. Why do you, by your traditions, transgress the commandments of Elohim? The specific context is Netelet Yadayim, the washing of the hands that came from the fathers. Even Flavius Josephus said, a Jewish historian, the Pharisees placed many teachings, many doctrines, many statutes upon us that many of us just refuse to keep. Talk about the Sadducees, the Karaites, different sects. Said, man, we ain't gonna do that. That's not even in the Torah. It's not in the Torah that you make a Gentile circumcise himself before coming into the Commonwealth of Israel. This is the debate that's taking place. How are we going to indoctrinate Gentiles into the community? So Peter stands up and says, listen to me, everybody. The Gentiles came in to the community through me. I was the vessel that Elohim chose to bring the Gentiles to salvation. Me. Do we remember the story? Yes, I think we do. That's Acts chapter 10. Cornelius, a Roman centurion, a devout man, one who prayed often and gave alms to the people. Elohim said, Cornelius, your prayers have been heard. Now send men to Joppa, ask for one certain name, Peter. He shall tell you what to do. So 3 men come to Peter after Peter had a vision of 3 sheets coming out of heaven filled with unclean animals. And the vision said to Peter, slay and eat. Peter said, not me. Here you got Peter defying the Lord, because Peter knows he ain't going to move against the dietary code. He said, there's something underlining this thing here. So this happened 3 times, and then the sheep went back up into heaven, and then Peter comes out of the vision, and now he's wondering, what does this vision mean? I know he ain't telling me to eat some pork chop. I know that ain't the case. I know he ain't telling me to eat no shrimp, all that stuff. What was this? Hold on a second. I'm trying to figure something out. Who is it? It's me. It's me too. Yeah, me too. We be Gentiles. And we have come. Are you Peter? I'm Peter. Master sent me to get you. Who's Master? Master Cornelius. So he goes to Cornelius. Cornelius bows down to him. Peter said, man, stand up, for I too am a man. Cornelius says, come on in here. He walks in, and guess what he sees when he walks into Cornelius' house? A house full of Gentiles. Peter said, okay, look here. Now I'm going to tell you right now, you know how that it is an unlawful thing for he who is a Jew to come unto and keep company with one of another nation. But I have been told to call no man common or unclean. Thus I came without any type of reservation. And so what happens? He says, I perceive that Elohim is no respecter of person. For as many as worketh righteousness is accepted with Elohim. So then as they were talking to Gentiles who are uncircumcised, the Spirit fell upon them. Bam. And then the brothers started speaking Hebrew. We know they were speaking Hebrew, right? Because the 6 brothers that were with Peter knew that they were glorifying and praising Elohim. So then Peter looks at the brothers and says, is there anybody who can forbid these brothers from receiving a mikvah in an uncircumcised state, who has received the Spirit as we too have received the Spirit? Brother say, hey, I ain't putting my hands on that. Hey, you know what? Hey, the Spirit done endorsed that. I'm with it. I mean, hey, baptize them. 10, 15 minutes on the water, or whatever, right? Okay. So this is what Peter is saying. Peter's saying, Yahweh came to the covenant through me. And notice, not one mention of them having to be circumcised. Now, go over to the book of Galatians. Now, go over to the book of Galatians. Galatians chapter 2, speaking of verse 1 through 3. Galatians chapter 2, 1 through 3.
Then, after 14 years, I went up again to Jerusalem.
Paul. I be Paul. Go ahead.
Then, after 14 years, I went up again to Jerusalem with Barnabas, taking Titus along with me.
Taking Titus with me. Taking Titus. Go ahead.
I went up because of a revelation and set before them, though privately before those who seemed influential, the gospel that I proclaim among the Gentiles, in order to make sure I was not running or had not run in vain.
Go ahead.
But even Titus, who was with me, was not forced to be circumcised, though he was a Greek.
Though he was a Greek. Titus. Titus is traveling the circuit with an uncircumcised penis. La 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 la, just going about his business. Because that's not required of Gentiles in the covenant. Now, go over to the book of Titus and pick it up at Titus chapter 1. See, Titus here. Titus 1:1.
Paul, a servant of Elohim and an apostle of Yeshua the Anointed, for the sake of the faith of Elohim's elect and their knowledge of the truth, which accords with godliness, in hope of eternal life, which Elohim, who never lies, promised before the ages began, and at the proper time manifested in his word through the preaching with which I have been entrusted by the command of Elohim, our Savior.
Talk to brother.
To Titus, my true child in a common faith.
My own son, according to the faith, with your uncircumcised self. Go ahead.
Grace and peace from Elohim the Father and Yeshua Anointed, our Savior.
Go ahead.
This is why I left you in Crete, so that you might put what remained into order and appoint elders in every town as I directed you.
Stop. Titus is a circuit overseer who is installing bishops. He's installing zakim. He's installing elders and specialists. That means the brother got to be trained. He has to be trained synaptically. That brother is trained in Torah. He's trained in the law of the prophets because there is no New Testament at this time. So the question is, Gentiles, if Gentiles do not need to be circumcised, why do they need to follow the rest of the law? Reading it to you. Because circumcision is not applicable to them. But the law is. 1 Corinthians 7:19. 1 Corinthians 7:19. 1 Corinthians 7:19. 1 Corinthians 7:19.
For neither circumcision counts for anything nor uncircumcision.
But what counts? What's most important? In Asia Minor, in Corinth, in Asia Minor, a Gentile city, Gentile town, full of Gentiles, Gentiles in the assembly, what is important, correct?
Keeping the commandments of Elohim.
Keeping the commandments of Elohim. But it's not a commandment to circumcise Gentiles to bring them in the covenant. Peter done told you that. And Paul is evangelizing, right, with someone he has adopted in the faith, right, who is uncircumcised. So then why are you going to go out here and tell Gentiles they got to be circumcised? And all we've done is just simply read. Well, Ariyah, why is there an imposition of circumcision upon the Gentiles? Because that is Pharisaical halakha. That imposition, right, is a part of the halakhic construct, the halakhic structure of conversion. Got nothing to do with Elohim. That has to do with man. Turn your attention over to Matthew 5:17 through 20. Matthew 5:17 through 20. Matthew 5:17 through 20.
I do not think, do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. For truly I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, not an iota, not a dot will pass from the law until all is accomplished. Therefore, whoever relaxes one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Is that just for the Jews or is that for the church? Yeshua is the head of the church, right? The church is built upon the Torah. The church is built upon the Torah. The church is built upon the Torah. Matthew 7:21 through 23. Matthew 7:21 through 23. Matthew 7:21 through 23.
Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven.
The will of the Father is for you to keep his commandments. How many times has he told you that? He told you that in the law and in the prophets. Go ahead.
Verse 22. On that day, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name and cast out demons in your name and do many mighty works in your name?
That's right.
And then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness.
Pick it up at Matthew 13:41. And he's talking about everybody who claims to be a part of the body. That's just not Israel, that's Gentile too. But Yeshua says, I'm going to reject you if you reject the law. You can't be a part of my body and not practicing the law. If you claim to be of the house of Israel, you got to be circumcised and keep the law. But if you do not claim descent from Israel, you still got to keep the law to be a part of the body of Mashiach. Romans chapter 2 in a second. Just remind me. Come straight.
Matthew 13, verse 41. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will gather out of his kingdom all causes of sin and all lawbreakers.
And all lawbreakers. Everybody got to keep the law. Look at who he is targeting. He's targeting everybody who has violated the tenets of the law. Circumcision is a separate issue. The argument is a halakhic argument. We just read the Abrahamic covenant.
All right, guys, going ahead and cut it right here. Appreciate you guys come checking me out.
An actual lamb. Man.
Appreciate you guys come check me out. And I want to talk about product. It's the Shabbat, though. We're not buying on the Shabbat, but I want to talk about this product right here. See if I can get it in focus. Let me see. Can't get it in focus. Anyway, can't get it in focus, but it says it's a candle, guys. It's a candle. And I got a friend that sells candles, so I'm gonna put the link for that. Don't buy on the Shabbat though. Do not buy on the Shabbat. Try to get that after Shabbat if you can, but Sunday or whenever day during the week. I'm gonna put the description for these candles. This one is called Ruah, and yeah, go ahead and check it out. It's called 12branches.com. She got shirts on there. She got body oils too. Got body oils. So yeah, go check that out, man. Don't check it out tonight. Don't buy nothing on Shabbat. That's what we talk about. But yeah, go ahead, check that out when you can after the Shabbat. But appreciate you guys come check me out. This is Brother Shemar Yahoo, and I'm out. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom. Peace.